There is some breaking news coming out of hurricane-devastated Puerto Rico. The National Weather Service just tweeted that a dam is failing, causing massive flash flooding. This is happening along the river there in the northwest part of the island. People are being evacuated as we speak by bus, and officials are calling this a, quote, extremely dangerous situation. Meantime, Maria also slammed the U.S. Virgin Islands. St. Croix was especially hit hard there. We hadn't even been able to see the impact there because of limited access until now. The area also endured brutally tremendous devastation. Oh my goodness, look at these visuals coming in. It's also been declared a disaster area. And that is where we find Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN senior international correspondent. So set the stage for us. What's it like there today, Nick?
Well, Pamela, it's an hour's flight from Puerto Rico in helicopter here. When you come towards it, it's clear, even though the east doesn't look so bad, the west has been hit incredibly hard here. I'm standing in Frederickstadt in the west, and this is normally a bustling tourist paradise. It looks like it must have been gorgeous literally a matter of days ago, but obviously you can see behind me it's without power, without electricity. People here already angry, frankly. One woman telling us how she felt the governor's statement was too positive. They hadn't conveyed how awful things were for them here, and on the ground it is absolutely devastated. The Lost Dog Bar, a tourist favourite round the corner. April, the owner there, mourning how the back of it had been torn off. They don't know when they can reopen again. Their little kid, Robbie, dancing, saying, I'm still standing, but they know fully well they may have to change their lives entirely if the power isn't back on quite soon. And also, as well, people angry at how FEMA haven't really brought enough food for them yet. Now, there's not a sense here of hunger at this point, but a lot of anger at how food was distributed to about 500 or 600 people at a school near here. Many learned about that, ran to try and get more, and found they'd run out. That may be alleviated by what we've seen as an enormous C-17 cargo plane just landing earlier on. To the Marines and the Army, they're at the airfield there, doing the best they can, it seems, to get as much aid in as they possibly can. But this place was also hit by Hurricane Irma, and in fact, two Americans here we spoke to, Brandon and Jamie, a lovely couple who went to St. Thomas to offer the help they could. He'd formerly served in Afghanistan. She's a mental health professional. They came back here but had to survive through Hurricane Maria, tearing the front of their house off entirely. Poor Jamie broke down into tears. He described how they'd lived through that. Moments of reality too as well. There are occasional stray horses roaming around here because the officials said let them out before the storm. Massive devastation here. Desperate hopes that people will pay attention to the crisis they're experiencing. There's not an inch of this road here that's not covered in some sort of debris, but they fear they're a little far away from Puerto Rico, a little out of sight, a little out of mind, and they're worried that life may have changed here entirely because they depend exclusively almost on tourism to live, and they're deeply concerned that that may not come back unless they can clean this place up. Pamela?
All right, Nick Payton-Walsh, thank you very much for bringing us the latest there from St. Croix. And just ahead, name-calling and nukes. President Trump fires back at the North Korean dictator after Kim Jong-un calls him mentally deranged. And now, new threats of an H-bomb test.